Hey guys, it's day 25 of my 31 Days of Fright. And what's today's movie? Well, I'm going to do a classic going back to the 80s with this sci-fi masterpiece, Predator. Yeah, how have I not talked about Predator yet? I mean, I did Aliens a few years ago, and a lot of people compare Aliens versus Predator. See what I did there? No, but anyway, this is one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's biggest and most well-known films in the 80s. I mean, other than Terminator, what other ones did he do? Commando, the other ones, the good stuff. So, yeah, let's get into this. This is Predator.
I mean, what can I say that hasn't already been said before about Predator? It's one of the best sci-fi movies of the 80s, and there's a lot of good reasons for it. Number one being Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, this guy's just a beast. I mean, doing something else other than Terminator really puts the spotlight on his action hero characteristics.
Knock, knock.
And you got supporting actors like Jesse Ventura, Carl Weathers, and Bill Duke. I mean, what else can you ask for? It's a lineup for the ages. So, other than just sucking this movie's dick all day, let's actually get into the plot. And if you haven't seen this, shame on you. So let's get into this. So the beginning starts off with this normal military feeling movie where they're all going in, do some mission, save a hostage, whatsoever. And it has a very action movie-esque vibe. I mean, it is an action movie. Let's not kid ourselves here. But things start to change midway through the movie. Then it gets super serious.
Not a thing. Not a fucking trace. No blood, no bodies. We hit nothing.
Dylan, better get on a radio.
And this dramatic shift in tone definitely puts the viewer in a different state of mind when you're watching this. Yeah, when you're watching the beginning, it's a total action flick like any other Arnold Schwarzenegger movie in the past. But once you actually get an idea of what they're dealing with, it completely changes the vibe. And now it's the hunter has become the hunted, facing off something they have never seen before. Now the mission isn't just to extract the hostage, but just to get out alive. So they start to set up traps, booby traps, any type of ambushes just to have an advantage, but the Predator always seems to outmaneuver it and get away, and as he's clearing them out one by one, the more desperate and terrified they become.
I'm scared, Pancho.
Bullshit. You ain't afraid of no man.
There's something out there waiting for us. And it ain't no man.
Then we get this badass line.
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
Hey, you knew it was coming. It was just a matter of time before I brought it up, so I guess I should just bring it up now. Come on, this whole movie's just filled with these one-liners that are just legendary. I mean, get to the chopper. I mean, how many memes have you seen with that line? I mean, there's a fucking metal song based on this line. Don't get me wrong, there's other great one-liners too, like,
Stick around.
or,
Bunch of slack-jawed faggots around here. This stuff will make you a goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus. Just like me.
and we can't forget,
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
yeah, this whole movie's just full of them. But back to the plot, alright? So after the Predator gets every person one by one, it's just mano a mano. Monster versus monster. Greased up man versus leathery skinned foe. Got Arnold and the Predator facing off in the last scene. And it's a pretty good 1-versus-1 scene, you know? I mean, Arnold can't really face him like strength by strength or like a boxing match. He has to outmaneuver this guy. He has to use tactics. He actually has to use like some type of stealth element. But, Arnold figures him out, outsmarts him, but this motherfucking Predator can't accept losing, so he decides to blow himself up. And that's pretty much the end of the movie. I mean, what other things can I say? It's a classic, science fiction classic here. It can't be beat. I mean, even the sequels aren't even as good as this one. Maybe Predator 2, but it's still not as great as the first Predator.
I mean, everything said about Predator's already been said. I'm just adding on top of the pile. You know, what else could you really say that's new about this movie? I mean, everything has been said in a good way. It's not bad. It's great. It's one of the greatest sci-fi movies ever. I mean, it also has fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger in it. The best action star, arguably, ever. Still great, though. I actually had a hard time doing this review because every time I was cutting the scenes together, I would just stop and just watch the movie. That's just the power of what this movie is, you know. Oh, well. So that completes day 25 of my 31 Days of Fright. So what's tomorrow's movie, Hayden? Well, you gotta find out. So, until then, have a good one, and I'll see you tomorrow.